Welcome to the Moral Fusion Leadership Awards. We wanted to take a moment to celebrate the movement-building work that happened across New York State. We are going to start with celebrating the Moral Monday Faith Convening, where 78 participants joined in February 15th for a full day of grounding in our faith and moral values.
We are really excited to have this gathering today. This is kind of a first gathering of faith leaders that LRC and the PPC are collaborating on, and we have a really great day planned for folks.
I'm wondering how we can make the work of organizing a movement across lines of division irresistible, right? And beautiful and enchanting. And if we suppose for a moment that making a movement irresistible is as important as policy demands whose logic is irrefutable, then maybe our question is, how might we concentrate our attention and imagination and relational organizing on building a beautiful movement?
Who has little or even nothing to lose? And you should think, how can I help that group of people, those groups of people, those alliances in our movement to be able to take action together? Not just individually, not just we're going to do, a protest over here and a living wage battle over there. How are we going to take action together? Because what that will do is be a new and unsettling force.
It is to know that the liberation of ourselves and the liberation of others are inseparable.
Everybody!
The New York State Poor People's Campaign joined a nationally coordinated Poor People's Action at state capitals to deliver demands to our legislature. We returned on June 7th to launch the third Reconstruction Resolution. We are about to hear from one of our student organizers, Olivia Kupiec.
On June 7th, 2021 marked a historic day for the Poor People's Campaign, as thousands of individuals across the nation gathered in over 50 rallies to demand a third Reconstruction in America. From New York City to Maryland, masses of low-wage workers, moral and faith leaders, PPC advocates, and local residents joined together outside their local representatives' offices to support the PPC's public policy demands that effectively address our country's poverty crisis. And as someone who just recently became affiliated with the PPC, this was my first ever Poor People's Campaign event, as well as the first in-person get-together of powerful voices and faces I had only met over the phone or over Zoom. It was also the first public gathering I had attended since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, making the already community-oriented nature of the rally so much more passionate and impactful.
Olivia was a participant in our Student Voices Interconnected project. Labor Solidarity. Convened in February, the purpose of our Labor Advisory Committee is to cultivate solidarity and collaboration among labor unions' faith communities across New York State. Then we went to Freedom Church of the Poor.
The history of the labor movement and other movements show that it is only when masses of people come together that oppressive structures and policies are changed. Recognizing our inseparable connection to one another is the key to unlocking this collective power that lies dormant when we remain divided.
The gospel is an invitation to a direct and decisive intervention into the standard common order of things where a few maintain power and wealth at the expense of the many.
Growing the New York State Poor People's Campaign. One of our priorities is connecting and developing leadership across historic lines of division. We do this through monthly calls, studying with one another, and putting that theory into practice and getting into action with one another. From Mount Vernon to New York City, to the Capital Region, to the North Country, we are united. This year, we relaunched our Truth Commission project. Truth commissions and similar events where directly impacted people speak for ourselves about our conditions and our demands have been an important tool that has been used for decades by a network of organizations now taking up the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for more revival. At these events, we lift up the plight, fight, and insight of the poor and dispossessed, not only highlighting the pain and injustice we experience, but the ways that people on the front lines of poverty, racism, and militarism and ecological devastation are resisting. Join us for our upcoming Truth Commission with the Capital Region. Special thanks to our visionary sponsor, Local 338 RWDSU UFCW. We are honored to share this moment with you. Thank you to all of our sponsors, for all of the organizers, for everyone joining us this evening. You make the work of Labor Religion Coalition possible as we strive to unite faith, labor, and communities in a statewide movement for social, racial, and economic justice, grounded in our deeply held moral and democratic values. Thank you for being on our side. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? We're on the justice side.